Is this the result of a psychological war?
بالشبيرة بتل أبيب إذا في سلام ليش لا؟
They party like us, they talk like us, عندهم قيمة للمرة مثلنا. إذا صار في سلام بيكون كتير منيح لأنه بدنا نروح على إسرائيل نحن بدنا نزور القدس.
Shared nightlife and values. Notice that politics, occupation, and bombs are missing. So, how does Israel push this narrative into Lebanese living rooms? To influence people, Israel understands that you have to speak their language. So Israel created videos like
رسالة عاجلة لسكان جنوب لبنان انتبهوا إليها بعناية.
استوقفتني قصيدة نزار قباني يا ست الدنيا يا بيروت، وكلما قرأتها أو سمعتها تذكرت ما يحدث اليوم في جنوب لبنان حتى اقشعر بدني وأنا أقول يا ست جنوب لبنان لم يكونوا يحبونك بل أحبوا الحرب فيك.
كم يستخف إعلام الممانعة اللبناني باللبنانيين ومستوى ذكائهم وكم يحاول أن ينشد انتصاراً أو إنجازاً بالقوة.
People in the Levant are unlikely to follow a page called Israel Defense Forces. To many, it signals adversary and triggers distrust. So Israel platforms familiar faces who speak Arabic instead, like Aveche and Ella, and the algorithms, they do the rest. In an interview with Tablet magazine, Aveche, nicknamed, quote, Mr. Evacuate Now by some Israeli outlets, said, quote, the idea was to use social media not only to disseminate press releases, but also to generate discourse among specific target audiences, he added. We are looking to influence, not just do PR. But there is more. In 2024, the BDS movement's Arabic language account called to boycott what is described as, quote, the mouthpieces of the Israeli enemy that speak Arabic, including Al Arabiya, NBC, Al Hadath channels, Sky News Arabia, streaming platform Shahid, and the Lebanese news network MTV. BDS points to reports from these channels that echo Israeli narrative, such as claims that Hamas uses hospitals for military purposes and interviews with Israeli officials. BDS said about these channels, quote, not only directed to consecrate and spread Arab normalization with the Israeli enemy, but they also constitute an integral part of the weapons of the colonial war on Arab consciousness and of the persistent and desperate attempts to colonize the minds of the peoples of our Arab region with despair. This adds to the already documented psychological war on Lebanese civilians through physical flyers dropped over Beirut with evacuation orders, despite forced displacement being prohibited under international law, and with QR codes linking to Israeli intelligence channels, urging citizens to report on Hezbollah. Messaging designed to inflame tensions between Lebanese communities like Shia, Sunni, Christian, Druze, and turning already fragile communities against each other, as Lebanon has seen before. Dropping flyers urging civilians to report on Hezbollah is textbook PSYOP, that's short for psychological operation, a military tactic that uses information and messaging to influence the beliefs, emotions, and behavior of a target population, documented since World War II. The QR code adds a modern layer, data harvesting. By scanning the QR code, the server can silently log their IP address, location, and device, turning a passive flyer into an active surveillance tool. So if communities are pitted against each other and Lebanese MPs like Kamil Shamon makes comments like
بتصور لو الجيش الإسرائيلي ما كان عطى علم مسبق بالمناطق يلي بدها تنقصف قديش عدد الضحايا الأبرياء كانوا ضرب 100.
It normalizes not only propaganda and confuses civilians through misleading evacuation orders, but could also make you stop thinking that civilians and their homes are being targeted. Military strikes on civilian areas are described as, quote, precision operations on Hezbollah strongholds, shaping how actions are perceived globally. Yet, these Israeli attacks violate international humanitarian law, according to experts. And make it make sense. Israel frames neighborhoods as terrorist infrastructure, then warns the very people it calls a threat to evacuate. The contradiction speaks for itself, because when Israel assassinated former Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, there was no leaflet. When the battlefield is the mind, propaganda is quieter than bombs. Connecting on similarities and hope is the distraction. So, what's really playing out in Lebanese living rooms, and who even knows they've been hit?